Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it.
This is another thing. Complex situations should never be solved with your gut, because you need to use your head to think through it. You need to use your head to basically say, what do I want and what's the outcome here? Let me give you one more in a corporate setting before we move on to you and what you're doing to screw yourself up. So let's talk about Starbucks. Starbucks in 2008, very interesting thing happened, and many of you, if you were in the financial services market then, probably know this, that their net income decreased by about 28% that year. And at the time, they had 16,000 stores in 44 countries, and they had gone through this massive, explosive growth segment in terms of going public in, I think it was like 1992, they only had 125 stores, and now here we are, 2008, they've got 16,000. So what ends up happening is Howard Schultz, who was the chairman of the board, comes back in as the CEO. Very complex situation, right? You've got operations in 44 countries. You've got massive reduction in terms of the profits that you have. You've got the stock market and Wall Street screaming at you. You've got customers that are going to Dunkin' Donuts because there's a recession that's hitting. So what do? Well, he was very clear, again, back to the two rules. What do I stand for? Like, what am I doing? And what do I want the outcome to be? So he was very clear that what he stood for as a leader and what Starbucks should stand for is the Starbucks experience. He wanted to go back to the beginning and reintroduce people to the romance of having a cup of coffee. Because, you know, that's how Starbucks launched in the beginning, that he was traveling and was over in Italy and was like, God, why don't we have places like these great stops to have a little cup of coffee over in the United States? Boom, Starbucks, an idea, it's born, it's launched. So he decides he's going to do whatever he can to get the romance of having a cup of coffee back. The other thing that he said is that they were going to build on their legacy of innovation. So what did he do? It's pretty interesting, because in 1 year, they grew sales by 4%, and because of the amount of innovative cost cuttings, they hired a guy that was part of the Toyota Lean management initiative. They were able to do a whopping 200% rise in profits in a matter of just over a year. And I'm sure there were people in this room that capitalized on it. But what's more interesting is, how did he do it? Well, one of the things that he did is he looked at costs and was very innovative around costs. The other thing that he did is he closed 1,000 of the worst performing stores, and he started something that we're still seeing happen. He decided, instead of being the kind of chain feel, because it was starting to backfire from a PR perspective and it doesn't really give you the romance of a cup of coffee, every single Starbucks you go into now is totally different than the one just down the road. Because he wanted to go back to it feeling like a local coffee shop and it feeling like a nice break in your day. They got rid of all those teddy bears and all the musical crap that was cluttering up the stuff. They got better food, and he kept the healthcare policy, because that was part of the Starbucks experience and innovating. Very interesting, because it comes back to you. What can you learn from these three examples? And what you can learn is this. In life, in any situation, whether you're talking about growing your company, growing your bank account, getting in a relationship, getting out of a relationship, getting something done at the school system that your kids are going to on behalf of your kids, whatever it is that you're up to in life, this is the only question that you need to ask yourself. Well, what is it that I want? Because the truth of the matter is, if you can answer that, you can have it. And the reason why you can have it is because these two things. I guarantee you, for anything that you want to do, whether it's make more money, get home earlier so that you can spend more time with your family, get rid of the person that you're with, lose weight, get in shape, whatever it is, you can do it. I'm going to prove it to you. How many people in here would like to, raise your hand, if you'd like to lose weight or get in much better shape than you are right now? Come on, get it up. Let's go. I'm going to turn the lights on you people. Okay, great. Leave your hand raised if you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing to get that. See? You know what to do, and you're capable of doing it. You just don't want to. This is where the brain comes in. And you're going to find that this is true about everything. Everything that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, all those dreams that you have, all those financial goals that you have, all those business goals that you have, they are totally within your reach. And the only thing that is going to prevent you from getting them is the dumb crap that's in your head. And I'm going to show you what that means. And here's something that's also really cool. I want you to understand a little bit of context because things have changed radically in the last 10 years. Not only do you have the information that you need to do anything, because anything that you want to do, whether it's make more money, whether it's build your own algorithm and sell it for millions of dollars, whether it is to get a divorce, whether it's to write a book, whatever it may be that's on your mind that you want to accomplish, somebody else has already done it, and they're probably blogging about it, or there's a couple dozen bestsellers that you can read and you'll get step-by-step instructions. You can also stalk people online that have done it. You can look at their Twitter feeds. You can check out their LinkedIn profiles. You can read the Business Insider articles that are about them that talk all about the way that their business was launched. There's the technology that helps you do the kinds of things you couldn't do 10 years ago. And there's also social acceptance. And so it is absolutely true. I am 100% convinced that if you decide there's something that you want to accomplish, you have everything you could possibly need to get it done. The only thing is you will stop yourself every single step of the way. And it's total bullshit. And let me tell you something. Scientists have crunched the numbers on the odds of you being born. And if anyone knows this statistic, do not shout it out because we're going to find somebody. And by crunching the numbers and the odds of you being born, they mean they went through the entire history of the world and took into account all of the natural disasters, all of the wars, all of the famines, everything. And they calculated the odds of you being born to the parents that you got on the day that you were born with the DNA structure that you have. What do you suppose those odds are? Dante, stand up. Can you guys give him a round of applause? Because he's like, oh God, not me. They're like, thank God it's him and not me. Okay, so what do you think the odds are? What's your birthday?
Year, July.
July 28th, 71. I'm older than you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. July 28th, 1971. What do you think the odds are? What are your parents' names?
What are their names?
Dorothy
and Claude.
Dorothy and Claude. Very nice. So what do you think the odds are, Dante, of you being born to Dorothy and Claude on the day that you were born with the DNA structure that you got, given the entire history of the world?
Trillion to 1.
Oh. That's 1 in 400 trillion, right? You're better at numbers than I am.
Yes.
Yes. You know what that means?
I'm a very lucky person.
You're a miracle. Like, you know what it means is all those things that you have cooking inside you, telling you, you know, I should do this, I should really do that, you know, I should, that's not, they're saying that, like your insides are saying that because you're supposed to do it. It's that part of you that's talking to you. And it's never going to go away. And that's true for all of you, by the way. Those annoyings I should, those things that you keep thinking about, you keep thinking about them because you're supposed to do something about it. Thank you. Give him a round of applause, please.